She knew how much I hated the thought of getting my hair cut. Still, she made sure whenever I visited her place, she would talk me into dumping my hair in some shop that belonged to a guy named Baba. On the 14th of the last month of 2019, a few hours before leaving the country on a solo journey for an unspecified period of time, she put money on the table and said, "Unogiro Amsoro." She needed to breathe in new air, and the place she was visiting has a good record of fascinating the many that have been there. I waved her goodbye as the husband drove her to Roadport, that busy station for buses traveling beyond the borders. Seeing her off gave me many mixed feelings. I didn't know exactly what to feel because it had been long since she had last gone out of the country, but I had second thoughts about getting my hair cut. There's no way I'm cutting off my hair, I told myself, as I picked the money from the table and used it for airtime instead. Twice did I ask her when she would return from that trip, but she gave me a blunt response, rather jestingly. She seemed unsure. A few days after arriving in her intended destination, she got admitted into hospital. Instead of enjoying her vacation, she began battling to stay fit. The reports that we got from those who were close to her were that she was well until the phone call came. That call came 6 days after the last good report. My brother-in-law had to sort out his traveling documents so he could go be with her. The following was supposed to be for a brief period, but it turned out into a long one. Definitely something was going on, but we all back home didn't know. It was only on the 1st of January that I learned that she had been on life support. But because the people close to her didn't want anyone to panic, they kept the information concealed. 2 days later, on the 3rd of January, getting out of bed was a fight. I wasn't feeling refreshed or geared up to face the day, but wasn't spiritual enough to discern the reason why. I had no real plans that day, so I just finished up some assignments and after that left my phone on the charger. Whilst contemplating about what to have for dinner, a call came at 16:12. It was a private number. I wondered who it was, but because I deal with a lot of people in my line of work, I picked it up and quickly recognized the voice of my niece, whom I had not heard from in a couple of months. She said, "Hello Kule. Nematambudziko. Wafangwai." I was clueless about who she was talking about and even asked her who she meant. When she realized that the news had not reached me, she twisted the story and began asking for my brother-in-law's number. She was quite sure that she had made a blunder and quickly hung up. Uncertainty and fear summoned a thunderous heartbeat within me, and when she called the second time, I didn't pick up. Instead, I opted to call the husband myself, but the number was on voicemail. When mine in his number finally went through, not hesitating, I asked her if there is something that they had not yet told me. She said she was at work, but before she could finish off, her voice had already betrayed her. I could pick up pain, fear, and loss of hope. She would go on to reveal how she had received a message from the hospital that her sister's oldest daughter was no more. Let's forget about how I felt or the 15-minute phone call to a friend in Marondera just to ease my pain, or the emergency haircut, or the tears that froze in my eyes and refused to drop after receiving the news. Let's all come to the realization that tomorrow isn't promised. Yes, you might be sure of your place in the next decade, but what about your loved ones and those who have stood by you? Let us use the little time we have to impact positive changes, reach milestones, and defy odds set against us. Seek God and love one another. No one is ever too old or too young to be loved.
Amen. Amen. What a blessing.